We are less than 24 hours away from the start of our major winter storm set to impact the state of Indiana with a lot of snow and even some wind to go along with it. I am Ryan and this is Indiana Weather Network. On today's video, we're going to break down all you need to know: timing, location, snow amounts, impacts, etc. So stay tuned. Next 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to break it down here into as easy, digestible information as possible. Before I start, like the video, and if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. We do weather content like this 24/7, 365 here at IWN. So if you need a source for Indiana weather, you have come to the right place. We got you covered here. Let's dive into the forecast today. I want to first start off with temperatures. I know it's kind of boring, but we'll touch on this briefly. Temperatures out there today in the single digits, 5 or so degrees for a lot of us. If you're up in Gary area, you're currently below zero. We're -4 up there. This is actual air temperature. The warm spot today down in Evansville, Corydon areas, 15 degrees or so down there. The wind chill, though, is the main headline. The wind chill, what our body perceives temperatures to be, we are currently -10 to -20 or so below for pretty much the entire state. But again, if you're down by the Kentucky border, you're the warm spot of the day. You're closer to 10 degrees or so for your wind chill. Otherwise, bundle up, limit time outdoors, and do take precautions if you are out and about in these elements. This will continue as well all weekend, probably into Wednesday of next week before we see any relief from these brutal wind chills. Now, the big story and topic, the reason you're watching this video is the snow upcoming. Let's dive into that right now. European model is the main model we've been using for the system. We feel it's most accurate. We have not changed that stance. As I move this from right now, Friday around the noon time frame, I'm making a video here, current time is 11:38 a.m. Eastern. As I move this into tonight, we're going to see our system developing right over Oklahoma and Texas as expected. Everything's on track. Begins to push up our direction, and by about that 1 p.m. time frame, we are starting to see our snow begin down by the Evansville and Vincennes area. So if I flip this over here to a high-res model for the radar here in the future, we're going to see the snow begins to move into the state right around that 1 to 3 p.m. time frame Saturday afternoon. Areas first to get it: Evansville, Vincennes, Terre Haute, Bloomington, down toward Corydon, Jasper areas. You guys are up to bat first. As the day goes on, this will spread north and eastward, and by later on in the evening, 6 to 7 p.m. or so, dinner time frame, we are seeing snow up by Lafayette and Kokomo now, down toward Richmond. And as we get later on, closer to 10 p.m., that snow begins to fill in. And by about that 10 to 11 p.m. time frame, the entire state should be getting some snow at that point. As I move this back over here to the European model, same thing applies. The system pushes up. It stays on a little bit light to moderate snow early on in the evening, but the later it gets, the heavier it becomes. So by 1 a.m. Sunday, the heavier snow moves into the state. That'll continue all night into Sunday morning and through much of the day on Sunday. We're in at 1 p.m. now on Sunday. The heavier blue, the darker blue, heavier snow indicating a lot of snow coming our way into Sunday afternoon now. Here's 7 p.m. By about 10 p.m. or so, we're wrapping up with lighter snow on the backside of this. And by early Monday morning, 1 a.m. or so, this system is exited into Ohio and Pennsylvania, leaving us with mostly dry conditions. Lake effect snow could be continuing for our friends up by the South Bend area. We'll have to watch that as well. But overall, the major snow with the system exits by early Monday. Monday should be more dry in nature with roads improving gradually, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's talk snow totals. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. There we go. There's a sneak peek. As I move this throughout the day today, we're going to see lake effect snow up by South Bend, Elkhart regions. It could accumulate 1 to 5 inches for you guys up today, up there in northern Indiana. So if you're out and about on the roads today, do plan on slick conditions up there by South Bend and Elkhart, as snow will pile up there. But our main concern, main topic here is what comes in later on Saturday. So here's your snowfall beginning right around that 1 p.m. time frame. We're starting to see the gray move in. That's your snow accumulation. The heavier stuff arrives a little bit later on in the evening, though. By around that 11 p.m. time frame, that's when things ramp up. So by 11 p.m., we have 1 inch to about 4 inches or so in South Indiana. Overnight, though, here comes the heavier snow, and by the time we get to Sunday morning, we have about 1 up in Gary area to as much as 7 inches or 8 inches down by the Kentucky border. This continues. Heavier snow arrives Sunday morning. When all is said and done into Sunday night, this is what the current model is suggesting. Snow ends right around 10 p.m. or so, leaving us with a wide corridor of 8 to 12 inches. If you're living in South Indiana, perhaps even Central Indiana, you could sneak into a zone of 8 to 14, maybe a little bit higher amounts as well, 15 to 18 inches, not out of the question. We have a lot of moisture with this system, and there's a lot of cold air. So the ratios of the snow are very high with a lot of moisture. It's a combination that we could easily see over a foot of snow in several areas across southern Indiana especially, but also that risk is creeping north upwards of Kokomo regions as well. So our forecast internally from yesterday has not really changed much. We're going to release a new one this afternoon, so stay tuned to that, but I don't expect many changes with it. But this is on your screen currently. We're going to adjust it slightly, so take it with a grain of salt. But overall, we're seeing 3 to 6 inches across that Gary, Rensselaer, South Bend area. Fort Wayne, Lafayette, Muncie, Indianapolis, Terre Haute regions, any place between 5 to 10. And if you're south of there, 8 to 14 is the going rate. Although with current thinking, the 8 to 14 zone will likely shift north with latest guidance. We are waiting for one more model. It comes out at 1 p.m. today. Current time, like I said, 11:30 or so. So 90 minutes from my time making the video here, we'll have new data to look at. Based off that data, we'll make a decision and update the forecast this afternoon for you guys on the pages. So stay tuned for that. Right now, this looks to be on track for the most part, but again, 8 to 14 zone could shift north there just ever so slightly, and perhaps totals increase just a smidge. We'll see what happens. But overall, timing with this, like I said, Saturday around noon, it begins in West Indiana. By late dinner time into the early evening, late evening time frame, the entire state should be getting snow. After the evening time frame, travel becomes treacherous. I would not advise travel anywhere in Indiana, starting late Saturday, continuing all day Sunday, even into Monday, perhaps even later to that. Temperatures are going to be quite cold, so salt and treatment of the roads are going to be quite ineffective. So plowing is good, but salting the roads, get them nice, dry, and clear, it's not going to happen with this system. Also, into Monday, winds are going to gust all throughout Sunday morning, 20 to 30 miles per hour. With the light and fluffy snow, this could create blowing and drifting. And especially on rural country roads, we could see some major drifts going on. These winds continue all day Sunday, even into the day on Monday as well. We see Monday quite gusty, 15 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts. All that light snow is going to blow around. So even Monday could see some travel conditions that are quite treacherous. So plan on that accordingly. I would definitely expect there to be closures of schools. So keep that in mind if you're a parent or if you're a kid watching this. You're probably going to have a snow day on Monday in some areas. That is your entire forecast though. So overall, putting it back together, a lot of snow coming your way, some wind as well. That cold air continues. It is a brutal winter so far here in January. With that being said, there is hope though. We are going to see a warm up in the next 10 to 15 days here. We're going to say 5-7 days. This pattern continues of cold air, Arctic air over the state, the entire state. But as I push this into February, we're seeing a warm up back into the 30s possible during that first week. And for those of you wondering, for any systems in the pipeline, we turn attention to those pattern shifts really from a cold to a warm pattern or vice versa, warm to cold. That is when we usually see these bigger systems work their way through. So if you're watching for a system to watch in the future, that first week of February is the time frame we are going to key in on and say a next system could work through. Could mean rain, could mean snow, could mean nothing. But right now, first week of February looks optimal for that.
Today's daily video sponsor is Ruckers Outdoor Services. Based out of Indianapolis, since 2019, they have been devoted to the care and preservation of trees across the area. They offer tree pruning and trimming, tree health assessments, preventative maintenance, tree removal, stump grinding, and 24/7 emergency tree services. You can visit their website at ruckersoutdoorservices.com or give them a call at 317-665-3969 and be sure to tell them that Indiana Weather Network sent you. Back to you, Ryan.
We'll be live 7 o'clock tonight for a live stream briefing, as well as another updated forecast tomorrow morning in video for you guys with final details and all that coming your way. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. I am Ryan signing off. You guys stay safe, stay warm. I'll catch you guys tonight as well as tomorrow for updates.